Taking risk when you're young is one of the best things that can happen to you as an individual. So in today's video, I will share why you need to take risk as a young person and how to take risk. There are two different concepts which is largely misunderstood, especially on the internet space, because the why and the how, or the how, is equally as important as the action. So you don't want to be the kind of guy who dissipates energy with little to no results. That can prove very disappointing, especially in today's day and age of insanity, where people's attention span can't even see through a shot. When they lack instant results, especially on an action they just tried, it can prove discouraging, and discouragement leads to inaction, which is not a position I want every single one of you to arrive at. Taking risk is very important, especially as a young man. Now, why? Why do you need to take risk? In order to achieve an outcome, it requires going out of the norm. It requires you doing something new. Doing something new leads to failure. Now, that's not the scope I want us to analyze. One of the first things we should look at in taking risk is analyze the philosophy of young people. We have this flawed idea, somehow we are always going to be young and there is time. The truth is, there isn't. This is the best time to take action, because your failure doesn't have much consequence as opposed to the piercing in the heart or the feeling associated with failure. As you scale in life and responsibilities are saddled upon your shoulders, failure comes with real consequence. Failure means your child's tuition is not paid. Failure means sleeping in an actual car with your family. Now, if you look at it from a macro standpoint, yes, there are entrepreneurs who still take risks at an old age, but they've laid the foundation such that a failed enterprise doesn't ruin them up until the point of the lack of rent. The foundation should be laid at a young age. You and I are comfortable sleeping in our car, or you and I are comfortable operating a startup from your mom's basement or from somewhere substantial to your future. The Bible terms it clearly. It is good that a man bears his yoke in his youth. So the best thing, the best gift you can give yourself is to start taking action. First, define an outcome. Second, fail as much as possible in that endeavor. It is better to fail at something than to wonder what if. That is one of the worst feelings a man can live with. You and I get upset about the opportunities we missed with women, say a misunderstood or a misread signal. Then you go back 2 years and be like, damn, this is what she was trying to say, and it haunts you till date. If that kind of opportunity pisses you off, imagine what the business kind will do to you. The problem with most people is they focus on the pain of failure. But if you look at the alternative, which is inaction, it is worse. I made a video, error of commission and error of omission. You should check it out. But in that video, I expound that the error of commission breaks your ego, while the error of omission gnaws at your soul. You would feel the temporary pain of failure, unconsciously alleviating you from the future pain of what if. It is normal to recall the failed business pitch or the failed approach and give yourself 1,000 reasons not to try again, as opposed to look at the alternative, which is what if? What if I had said hello? Would my life be different? Would I have different skills? Would I have different opportunities? I would rather be the kind of guy who fails and lives with the thoughts of failure as opposed to inaction. And you have to analyze this as a professional. Is it failure if you win at the end? In fact, this is a very interesting thought concept. Is it failure if you ultimately succeed? It's a decision you have to make for yourself. I promise this video will be short, but I'm trying as much as possible to stay on course. So why you should take risk has obviously been cleared out. So let's talk about how to take risk. One of the best way to take risk is to first define an outcome. Secondly, define your risk tolerance. You see, people on social media like to bully upcoming entrepreneurs or upcoming individuals in whatever sector. You know, if you don't work 16 hours a day, you've not started, or you're a baby businessman. If you do not read at least 30 chapters of the Bible, you're a baby Christian. If you don't read 2 million books in a year, you've not started. All these extreme standpoints of work is unacceptable. Identify what you can actually do as opposed to something you can't do, something you can't keep true. Set the goal, fall short, and feel bad. And if you look at the flip side, which is there's nothing wrong in challenging yourself and saying, yes, this is out of my reach, but it's something I can do. Well, this idea of moving from a 4-hour work day to a 16-hour work day, it's a very big leap. The knowledge or the experience that would act as the shoulders of giants you lean upon doesn't exist. So you're bootstrapping too much. That effort would always end in failure. The Bible makes it clear. It's from Samaria to Judea to the uttermost part of the earth. So from 4 hours, you try 7, then 8, then 10. You build confidence, especially if it's your first time undertaking action. Those first wins are necessary as touching growth. So define the outcome as one, then your risk tolerance, then the actions that will get you to where you want to go. The action that leads to the destination is the third thing. And once you have all of those figured out and commit yourself, conscientiously follow through the order, 2026 is going to be a wrap. I've taught you how to comment. First, what you learned. Secondly, what you would like to see in the future. And as always, my friends, a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.